Hey guys, sorry I'm not able to be in class with you today. What this video is going to do is it's going to give you a brief introduction to the task that you have to complete today, which is creating a procedure to help you be successful during the lab tomorrow. So if we look at the introduction to the lab, we have to understand as chemists how equilibrium acts. Because a lot of times when we talk about chemical reactions, we want to be able to control how much product is being produced. So if we have a chemical equilibrium that can go in both directions, we might have to manipulate and change things in order to help us get the most product possible in that reaction. So what we can do is we can alter the equilibrium point of a reaction, meaning we can impact whether it's reactant favored or product favored by either changing the temperature or the concentration of the reactants in the products. So how this lab is set up is this first side is the pre-lab side, and what it's going to help you start to understand is how we can use color changes in an equilibrium to visually see what we have more of once the equilibrium has been established. Do we have more reactants or do we have more products? So you can see in this first set of pre-lab questions, you're going to be working with this reaction here in number 2, and you can see the reactant side is blue and the product side is pink. So you guys are going to kind of just use what you know about chemical equilibrium and then apply it to this reaction as you answer these questions. So it's just trying to get you to think a little bit about, hey, what would happen if, based on this chemical equilibrium? Once you've kind of answered these questions, what you're going to do is you're going to go to my website and you're going to watch the intro lab video. The intro lab video is working with this chemical equilibrium right here, where you can see our reactant side is red and our product side is yellow. What Mrs. Staub is going to do is she's going to have you read just a little procedure, so you might need to hit pause because it goes kind of fast, so you have an idea of what she's doing. And then as she does the lab, you're just going to fill in this data table here. So what you kind of want to look at is what is she putting into the equilibrium and what do you see happening to the color? And what does that mean in terms of which side the reaction is moving towards? And this will make a little bit more sense once you've actually watched the video. So what you want to do is you want to kind of use what you learn on this front page to create a procedure for the challenge on the back page. So what we're going to do is we're going to work as lab tables to kind of answer this challenge. So what you're going to do is you're going to be assigned some of these guiding questions. And these guiding questions are going to help drive what procedure it is that you're going to make. So what you want to do is you want to determine how changes in temperature and either the addition or removal of some of the reactants in the products is going to impact this specific chemical equilibrium. And we'll talk more about what you're going to actually do once you get your data tomorrow in class, because that I can explain better in person. These materials are just the materials that I say, hey, you can use these, but you can also use anything else at your lab table or anything else that you ask for that's deemed safe. So since I'm not there right now, if you want to shoot me an email during class, I will get back to you and let you know if the material you'd like to use is safe or not safe. And then you and your lab partner are just going to write your procedure here in the space below. So it can just be a general outline sketch of what you think you guys are going to do in class tomorrow. Now, how you know what guiding question you're going to be working on is going to be based off of what lab table you're at. So if we think about our lab, we've got a total of 6 lab tables. So our hood's back here. This is going to be the front of the room. So if you are at this front lab table here, your guiding questions that your table of 4 is going to work on are questions 2 and 3. If you're at the middle lab table, you're going to work on guiding question 1. If you're at the back lab table, you're going to work on 2 and 3. If you're at this front lab table, you're going to work on question 1. This middle lab table is going to work on 2 and 3, and this back lab table is going to work on 1. So this is how we're going to kind of divvy up the work, because in class on Friday, I'll be explaining this part a little bit more. You guys are going to be kind of presenting to each other to use your results to explain what happens when you impact a chemical equilibrium. So your guiding questions are going to kind of be what you want to use to write your procedure, and you can use the information that you got from these questions and what you saw in the video up here to kind of help you in that process. Now, this is going to definitely cause you guys to have to think a little bit. Okay, so we're definitely have to have our thinking caps on and our brains on, and it's completely okay if you get into your lab tomorrow, you start doing your procedure, and you realize, wait, this isn't going to work, we need to make a change. That's totally fine. I just want you guys to have at least thought a little bit about what you think you need to do to kind of answer these guiding questions here. So if you're working on 2 and 3, I know you have 2 questions to work on in your group of 4, so you can either choose all 4 of you guys to work together, or you can have one group work on 2 and one group work on 3. It's kind of up to you guys. If you're the lab group with question 1, that's the only procedure you guys need to come up with. And that's kind of what you guys are doing in class today. Now, if we talk about due dates for things coming down the pipe, you definitely need to have a kind of an outline of a procedure due in class for tomorrow, so I can determine if it's safe or not. Your textbook homework and your KSP problems are going to be due on Monday before the test, which is now going to be on Tuesday. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email. I'll be bopping in and out all day, kind of checking that to help you guys out. So go ahead and get started.